Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the December 6th Al-Anon readings, Encourage to Change, and a little time for myself. Excuse me. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Start with a little time for myself. Take a moment to look this over. The question of the day is, how does facing reality help me manage my expectations? This reading reminds me of what I've heard many times in meetings, which is expectations lead to resentments. All right, so the first paragraph is acknowledging expecting too much from those that this person loves. And when the expectations aren't met, they get very sad. But the second paragraph talks about when they face reality, they realize that they can move themselves in the direction that they want to go and make progress. And they get more compassion for themselves. Today's reminder talks about being cautious of building up expectations for others and reminding us that all we can do is deal with what's in front of us right now, today. The quote is from Opening Our Hearts, Transforming Our Losses. When we focus on what's real and in front of us, we can look toward the future with hope. So how does facing reality help me manage my expectations? Excuse me. Well, for me, facing reality means that I can't control other people's actions, thoughts, or feelings. So all I can do is control my thoughts, actions, and feelings. And I hear in meetings all the time, I can't control people, places, or things. So when I acknowledge that reality, my expectations fall more into place. There have also been several readings, and I don't know what days specifically, but in Al-Anon, I've learned that I am responsible for my own happiness. I can ask others to, I can delegate things that involve other people. I don't have to do everything on my own, but at the same time, I have to keep my expectations in check. And whenever I talk about expectations, I have to bring up not accepting unacceptable behavior. So even though two things. I have to manage my own expectation to make sure I'm not being unreasonable. But And also, when people expect something of me, it's up to them to manage their expectation, and it's up to me to realize that it's not my job to fulfill their expectation. Unless I've promised them something, that is my responsibility. But the idea of not accepting unacceptable behavior comes into play here in my mind, because I think it is perfectly reasonable to set a boundary that we will live in safety. So my expectation is that I will make changes to a situation where I don't feel safe. Now, thank God I'm not in that situation now in my life. I was many years ago. And then I had to set some boundaries that were very challenging, and Al-Anon helped me do that. So, how about you? How does facing reality help you manage your expectations? I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm fine. Moving on. I'm going to take a moment to look this over. Hmm. Powerful reading. It doesn't have any markings for me, but it's a great reading. It's about the 11th step, the power to carry out God's will. It's about managing our anger. It's about expressing our feelings in a healthy way. So it begins by this person being in denial that they were angry. And then it goes on to describe how once they realized that they were angry, they blamed the alcoholics in their family, but then they felt worse. And then it goes on to say, through working their program, they were able to look at their part in it and to realize that they can't they can't control alcoholism. And now they're able to express their anger in a healthier way. And I love the 3 C's. We cannot cause it, we cannot control it, and we cannot cure it. Today's reminder, that's just my little, it's not in this reading, but that's what it made me think of. Today's reminder talks about anger being an illusion of power. And it talks about how the only real power we have is to carry out our higher power's will. And the quote is from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, that talks about our ability to change our own lives. And Al-Anon definitely, that's what Al-Anon is all about, our recovery. That's a wonderful, wonderful reading. I love them all, honestly. There are very few readings that I don't get a lot out of. This is a really good one. So we'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. If you heard that bark in the background, that is the puppy we are sitting. Her name is Daisy, and she does not need to go out. She is barking for my partner to play with her. She doesn't like to play with me as much. She likes to snuggle with me, and she likes to play with him. So she's very sweet, very adorable. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.